A very good morning, students. Welcome to the lecture of production of automotive components. Myself Sukanya. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and I would be taking up this course for this semester. So first on the course code for production of automotive components, which is PAC, is 080751. And I would like to go through the syllabus before starting the course. So we have 5 units. The first unit talks about the production of engine components, second transmission components, third body components. The fourth unit will be about the chassis component production, and fifth unit is about the production of tires and advanced materials manufacturing. So these are the 5 units. So if you see, basically we are dealing with all the automotive components, which are classified to 5 different categories over here. So that is the course syllabus. Next, I would like to give you in detail what we'll be learning in the first unit, which is about the engine components. As you know, a vehicle functions because of the engine. So engine is a major component that provides the power, and engine consists of a lot of components within itself whose manufacturing process we'll be dealing about. So first we need to understand how a material is being selected and what are the various manufacturing methods that are being used for the engine components. Next we'll be talking about all the components specifically. So first is engine block, how it's manufactured, then about the cylinder head, crankshaft, connecting rod, camshaft. So all these components, I'm sure that you have learned it already in automobile engineering. Then we'll also be talking about the other components like piston, gudgeon pin, cylinder liners, piston ring, oil pan, carburetors, push rods, rocker arm, tappets, and spark plug. So you would have learned about the functions of all these components. So in this course we'll be dealing about how these components are manufactured. So here in this lecture we'll start with the first topic, which is about the material selection and manufacturing methods for the engine components. So to start with, first you need to understand what are the various materials that are present and how we are going to choose the materials, and in general what are the various manufacturing methods which you would have learned already in your manufacturing technology course, and what are all available and what we'll be dealing with exactly for the engine components. To start with, the various materials that are being available are ferrous metals, non-ferrous metals, plastic, ceramics, glasses, composite materials, nanomaterials, and smart materials. So first is ferrous metals, which are basically made up of iron. So all the different types of steels which we have, stainless steel, carbon alloy steel, so all these steels come under the ferrous metals. And next is non-ferrous metals. So other than iron, so all the different metals which you have, all will come under this category. So aluminium, magnesium, copper, nickel, refractory metals, so all these are non-ferrous metals. So next is a very common material, which is plastics or polymers, which are again categorized into thermoplastics, thermosets, and elastomers. And next, the other type of materials which we have, which you very commonly see, are glasses and ceramics. Also have graphite, diamond, so all the hard materials that come under another category. And next is composite materials. So when you have to improve the properties of a material, make composite materials, which are reinforced plastics and metal matrix composites. And finally, the recent research material is shape memory alloys and nanomaterials, semiconductors, superconductors. So overall, this is to give you an idea about what are the different materials which are available. Next we'll be talking about the material selection. So as you can see that There are so many challenges which are being faced in choosing a material, and you need to understand what are the various criteria in choosing a material. How do you select a material? So first is depending upon the desired properties of materials. So when you choose a material, it's for an application. What are the various properties that are desired in terms of mechanical properties, physical, chemical and manufacturing properties? So based on that, you choose the material. Second criteria is based on availability. So the location where it is present, you have to see whether this material is available in desired quantities, shapes, the required dimensions, how is the surface texture, and whether the supply is reliable. So the second criteria is availability. Third is service life. So this is a very important criteria. So depending upon how long you want the product to have its service, you can again choose the material. And service life is completely can be reduced or it can be increased. It depends upon the material which you choose, what production method, and there are so many variables which affect the service life, whether you're maintaining it properly, whether you're using the product properly. So all that will affect the service life. So depending upon what kind of service life you want, accordingly the material can be chosen. And the last one is material substitution in products. So there's always a possibility to substitute a material for an application. So for example, if you want to make a hammer, you can either make it of metal or wooden. Suppose if it's some chair, it can be the aluminium or cast iron, and for wire it can be aluminium or copper wire. Similarly for a toy, it can be a metal or plastic toy. So material substitution in products is another criteria. So this slide is about the various manufacturing methods to give you an introduction to the manufacturing methods of engine components. So most commonly used is casting. So casting is basically used for the engine components like engine block, cylinder head, piston ring, oil pan and carburetor. So you're already aware of casting, in which a molten metal is being poured in a mold and then it takes the shape of the mold, and that is nothing but casting. So next is machining. So if you see, most of the components would need machining in order to make sure that the components are of the required dimensions, because there's a lot of precision requirements material in engine. So all that is done by machining, which is again done for engine block, cylinder head, piston, crankshaft, connecting rod, camshaft and piston ring. So next comes forging. It's mainly used for crankshaft, connecting rod and camshaft. So after making all the components, finishing is a requirement which is majorly needed for push rods, rocker arm, tappets, spark plug, and you also have heat treatment processes which are needed to improve the mechanical properties of a component, which are used in valves, push rods, rocker arm, tappets and spark plug. So if you see, overall we'll be talking about all these different manufacturing processes in this course.